Jesus, let it go. Like, do you really have to talk that much?
No.
Like, my goodness. You don't have to talk that much. Like, yes, Jesus bless you with a voice, but you ain't got to talk that much.
Talk that much? That's not what he said.
That's not what he said. He didn't say talk that much. Jesus. Release yourself from the shackles of talking so much.
Girl, what did he say? Don't gossip.
Right. Do not boast.
One thing about me, I'm a scream.
I'm screaming. Hey guys.
Hello.
Welcome back to the podcast
With Paiton and
Evelyn. Why we move our heads like that on a video? It was like
Evelyn. You go that way, I go this way.
Like, what is going on?
Girl,
Like,
it's giving bowling pins.
it's giving oompa loompa. Oompa loompa.
Oh my goodness. Don't say that, because I'm looking a little Oompa Loompa-ish. I'm looking kind of orange.
Not you looking orange.
In this camera.
Not you looking kind of
Girl, you know, it was a summer. I was in high school. The whole summer I was orange.
Really?
I can't even lie.
Is that because of a sunburn? Or no? It was just,
I think I literally, the sun made me orange. I was orange the whole summer. And I wish I could find my like school ID badge. I was orange in that photo.
That's crazy.
I don't know what was going on. If there was a deficiency, vitamin deficiency somewhere.
Wow.
But I was orange the whole summer. Crayola orange.
Not Crayola orange.
Crayola orange.
Said I was Crayola.
High C orange.
Crayola orange.
Yes. It was crazy.
Wow. Tangerine orange.
Tangerine. I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. Especially when I had to take that school photo. I said,
Wow. That's crazy. The sun, I've never heard the sun made you orange.
It made me orange.
Wow. That's different.
Yep.
That is different. But okay, guys. Today's topic, because we don't want to hold y'all too long, because we'll be going on about random stuff for literally forever.
Talking about orange skin.
Yes. Like for literally an hour. Like, why are we talking this for an hour yet? Like, that's not even relevant. Like,
It's not. Why even bring that up?
Like, this is not relevant to the topic at hand at all. But I hope y'all enjoyed that. Now, before we digress into something else,
a little fun facts.
Let's stay on topic, okay? Today's topic that we kind of wanted to get into, well, actually, y'all know how much we love Disney Channel, right? Like, we always are singing Disney Channel. I think even on the last episode that we just did, we sang a Cheetah Girls song.
We did.
So this is actually kind of sick because we're going to bring the Cheetah Girls back up again. Not throughout the whole episode. Like, it's going to come around full circle. Like, it's going to make sense, y'all. Don't tweak on me. Listen, stay here. Don't lose me now. Stay here. Stay with it. It has a purpose. It has a purpose.
Yeah, it's a purpose because there's the topic we want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? It kind of goes into the lyrics of one of the songs.
So, well, we love Cheetah Girls so much. And, you know, if you are an OG Cheetah Girl fan, then you remember the first movie when they sang the song Cinderella. And one of my favorite lyrics in that song is, I gotta rescue myself. And that lyric hits harder, I feel like, even now as an adult. Because as a kid, you know, you just kind of singing it. But that song, that whole song hits harder now as an adult. Because I feel like they really told the truth about life in that song. I don't know who wrote that song. But shout out to you.
Yes.
You wrote a hit right there. Shout out to you, whoever wrote that. And I feel like that really resonates with adulthood and just growing up and maturing with yourself. Because you have to realize that nobody's going to make life happen for you.
But
no one's going to make stuff move and shake. Nobody's just going to give you free money. No one's going to give you free opportunities. You're going to have to look for these opportunities. You're going to have to work hard. So if you want to get yourself out of a rut, or if you want to level yourself up more, or do more, or have more for yourself in life, you got to rescue yourself out of the problem. So that's what we want to talk about today.
Yep.
I got to rescue myself.
Yes. And you have to have your own back.
Yes.
When nobody else will, you have to have your own back.
If your back up against the wall, you got to get your own back off the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Ain't nobody gonna do it for you. So if y'all don't know what we're talking about, go listen to the song Cinderella by She Girls. And you will hear that exact lyric, and then come back here and you'll understand. It'll make more sense. You'll understand what we're talking about and where we're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of like where we pulled that from. Because I just feel like that's kind of the place that I'm in right now in my life is like, you know, I can't sit around waiting for other people to make stuff happen for me. Like, it would be wonderful if, you know, you meet the right people around you and you surround yourself with the right team or the right group of people. But most of us, you know, we're not celebrities, so we don't have like a management team and, you know, an assistant to do this and a scheduling person do that and a stylist person. Like, you really have to put your own stuff together and make it work so that you can be successful in the best way possible in your life, whether that's career, you know, relationship, but especially career. Because a lot of this stuff out here nowadays is a lot of networking, a lot of having to speak up, a lot of having to reach out. And the thing about that also is being able to deal with rejection. Because it's going to be a lot of times you get rejected. It's going to be a lot of times that people don't, you know, like you. They probably don't want to deal with you. And sometimes it may not make sense to you. Like, why am I getting shut down? Why is every door closing on me? But sometimes that's just what happens. That's part of growing up. That's part of maturing. Is like you realizing that every door that I try to go to, it's not going to open for me. Like, some of the doors are going to shut and slam in my face. And that's just what it is.
Yeah.
That's life now, being an adult. Like,
unfortunately, that is life. And you keep thinking, okay, I'll wake up and, you know, I'll get a break today. I'll catch a break today. But life is really just about picking yourself up when you're down.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be a down. And it doesn't have to be like a dramatic, you know, down or anything. But things are not going to go your way. And 9 times out of 10, they won't go as planned. So you'll have to, you know what I'm saying, go for a different route, switch things up, and be okay with some things not going exactly the way you have intended it or planned for it to go. But just knowing that you can take yourself out of that situation to another level than where you're at right now. So, and just piggybacking off what you said about, what you say?
Not what you said. Piggyback on what you said, but what did you say?
Girl, because it's right. You know how some just be at the tip of your tongue?
I'm actually
some just be at the tip of your tongue.
I'm deceased, Evelyn. I said a lot of stuff. I don't know what part of it you want.
Oh, it'd be at the tip of your tongue.
A lot of stuff.
Girl, here we go again.
Oh my gosh, here we go again.
Here we go again. Oh, it was what you said about, you know, a lot of people don't have help and all those things. And just even if you have a support system, even if you have help, even if you have people telling you what to do all times of the day, doing things for you, you still have to be that person to get yourself up. You still have to be that person to show up in those spaces to accomplish certain things that you want to do. Nobody can get you out the bed.
Yeah.
No one can brush your teeth for you.
Yeah.
I mean, you can if you want to do that, if that's the life you want to live. I mean, if you flash the money, you can have people do anything for you.
You really can.
But realistically, and if you have a, you know, in a good mental state, there's no way you should have somebody doing those basic things for you. But anyway, but what I'm saying is you can only, people can only do so much for you. Even as a support system, people can only do so much for you. And I feel like sometimes you should only expect certain things from other people around you. So it's up to you to hold yourself to a standard and hold yourself accountable for how you want your life to be and how you want to live your life. You can't hold other people to that standard for you. You can't expect people to hold your hand or, you know what I'm saying, show up for you in certain ways, and then when they don't, you're disappointed. You kind of have to put in that work and show up for yourself even more than those people around you, I think.
And even on the part of people can only do so much for you, how about you can only do so much for other people.
Mm-hmm.
Let's think about that as well. Because some of y'all trying to spread yourselves way too thin against way too many people. And the fact of the matter is, you got to rescue yourself. So at the end of the day, you can only help them so much because everyone has to rescue themselves.
Yeah.
So you can, give them some help or give them some guidance or try to, lead them to a different path. But at the end of the day, they have to make the decision to choose that path. You can't throw them into the path and tell them, oh, go do this, oh, go do that. It's their life. So whether they want to do better or be better or change or whatever, that's on them. You cannot rescue other people. You can only rescue yourself. So you rescue yourself by worrying more about yourself. And people may think, oh, you're being selfish, you don't care about me. No, that's not true. Just because I want to rescue myself from the shackles of having to deal with you every day. Okay?
Girl.
It's the shackles, okay?
Talk about, it's the shackles for me.
Get the shackles off your feet so you can dance. Okay? How about that? That's what Mary said. So, that's what you're going to have to do. Get the shackles off of you, be released, okay, from the bondage of them, and go live your life. Go rescue yourself. If you want to go somewhere and do something or make new friends or network, or if you want to go to even like change your living circumstances, if you want to get a new place, if you want to go out the country, if you want to move to a different state, go do that. Don't let people bondage you and shackle you down.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Go rescue yourself. Release yourself from the place that you're in. You don't have to be stuck. You're the one that's sticking yourself on the wall like glue. Like, nobody said you had to do that. Get up. Like, for real, get up. It's okay. Get up.
It's okay.
It's okay.
You'll be alright.
You can be released from the shackles.
Yeah.
It's okay to release yourself. Like, set yourself free.
Yeah.
Like, rescue yourself.
And I think in kind of having to rescue yourself, you have to be okay with disappointing people.
Yeah.
And know that disappointment does not equal like the end of the world.
No, definitely not.
Disappointment does not equal the end of somebody's life. Like, they will live.
Yes.
And the world will still go on.
Yes, it will.
So I think rescuing yourself, you have to be okay with sometimes disappointing people.
Yes.
And I know that's hard for a lot of people. I know for me, I am not in the game of like disappointing people. I will do whatever I can to not disappoint people, even if that means me subjecting myself and doing things I don't want to do sometimes. And I think it's just a fear of, well, what will this person feel and what will they think? Just worried about what someone is always thinking. And you have to be able to put yourself outside of that.
Yes.
And just kind of think, will that person go to the ends of the earth for you, like you're doing for this person?
Yeah.
Is that person going to show you that same, show you that same energy in a situation like that? And if not, then you're going to have to reevaluate some things. And that doesn't mean you have to completely change the type of person you are and just become, like Paiton said, some people may feel like a selfish person, but just rethink how you do certain things. And it doesn't have to be a complete like disappointment. It could be a later, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We can go revisit this later.
Yeah.
So just thinking of it that way as well.
Yeah, and I also like to say, this is not just for women, like also for men to understand this too. But I also like to say specifically for women because, in that song it talks about like, I don't want to be like Cinderella, sitting in the dark hole, dusty cellar, waiting on somebody to come and set me free. And I feel like a lot of women will have that like complex of like, oh, I'm waiting on a savior and I'm a damsel in distress. So specifically for women, I would, like to encourage you and tell you, you don't have to be a damsel in distress. Like, there is a balance between, wanting help, getting help, asking for help, and also being able to pick yourself up and be independent and do what you need to do as a woman. Like, you don't have to sit there, you know, relying on a man or relying on this, or think, oh, I need some guidance, or oh, I need this. Like, you're not, like, I feel like sometimes people like to make it seem like, oh, women are too slow to be able to, you know, move through this world. Like, women don't understand finances, women don't understand, you know, this, women don't understand leadership, women don't understand. Like, okay, that may be true, that maybe we don't understand it from a male perspective, but like, a woman is not that slow where they, you know, where they don't know how to do stuff. Like, anybody can learn these things. Like, anybody can learn the tools of financing. Anybody can learn how money works, how to move money, like how to make stuff happen. Like, yes, there are more men out here that are like millionaires and billionaires, but don't let that discourage you, you know, from believing that you can't, you know, be up there with them too, or believing that you can't take on leadership positions, or believing that you're not strong enough to reach that level and to really excel, because you are. Like, you're able to do those things. Don't let people feel like you just need to sit down and be quiet and shut up and be a damsel in distress, because that's not true. That doesn't equal, like, oh, you being the perfect woman, you being, you know, the right woman, you being the perfect wife, you being the perfect girl. Like, no. You shutting up and being quiet does not equal that. Like, you're allowed to take care of yourself. Like, you're allowed to take initiative sometimes and make decisions. Like, that's okay.
Yeah. And I think even from a different perspective, I think for a man having to rescue himself, I think it would be him taking himself out of, you know, that role of feeling like he always has to, you know, save everyone. Yeah. And he can actually, you know what I'm saying, dial down on some of that, you know, like masculine energy. Because, you know, in previous podcasts we talked about, you know, a balance. Yeah. Having a balance, that sometimes it's okay for a man to not be, you know, super macho all the time. Like, sometimes it's okay to say, well, you know what, I don't have to be a man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's kind of the saying, like, well, I have to be a man. I gotta do what I gotta do. I can't, you know, I can't slow down. I can't show this. I can't do that. Yeah. And they themselves have to rescue themselves sometimes. Yeah. And say, I deserve and can get a break. Yeah. I don't always have to be at this high level all the time.
Sometimes I can live in my emotions. And I can care, and I can just relax. And I always have to be so stressed out at an all-time high. Like, it's okay.
Yeah, because sometimes it's put on the men to, like, figure everything out. Yeah. And have to have an answer to everything. Yeah. If it don't go through them, then it's not gonna work. They have to be, you know what I'm saying, the
decision maker
all the time to say the you know, the end all be all. Yeah. And that's a lot of weight on a person, a lot of pressure on a person as well. So I think even on the reverse side, there's a lot of men out here that can benefit from sometimes stepping back and saying, okay, I have to do something for myself now.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Because like you said, sometimes, you know, I think that's probably why a lot of men feel overwhelmed too, and they might have an attitude. Like, I'm not trying to say men are angry, but I was like listening to someone else's YouTube, like a dude that does like motivational speaking and stuff, and he was saying, like, you know, if you look at certain stuff in the world, like when it comes to like terrorist attacks or you know, like mass shootings and crazy stuff like that, he's like, who's usually doing them? Not women. Like, majority of the time it's men. And he's like, you know, men, we have to come to that realization that, you know, we are the ones that are usually more angry. Like, we're usually the ones that are more likely to be serial killers. We're usually the ones that are more likely, you know, to have all this built up, you know, all this built up stuff. And he's like, why is that? It's because you hold it all in. You don't allow yourself a time or a reason or a season to just, like, talk through your feelings, to heal, to learn, to grow. You know, you put all this pressure on yourself, and the world puts all this pressure on yourself. So now you're overwhelmed. So now you do get to that crazy point where, you know, it just becomes too much. And now it's all built up, and then you have an incident like that where something.
Love love you, and we'll hear from y'all soon. Bye.
See you soon.